All right. If you're listening to this, then you've made it to day 2, to the very end of the day. So let's talk about it. So there's something crazy that ended up happening to me, and I think it has to do with the chemicals in my brain, the nicotine, the lack thereof, and basically my body trying to adjust to not having cigarettes and being completely cold turkey quitting. I laid down last night feeling a normal amount of sleepiness. I'd say it was about 10:30, maybe 11 o'clock, maybe even later. But when I laid down, I found that I could not fall asleep, and I had ran out of melatonin. There was no way for me to put myself to sleep. So, and I had to work early in the next morning coming off that holiday. I made it through the day. I got to work feeling more well rested than I should have for only getting about 3 hours of sleep. I didn't crave a cigarette in the morning, and I was so busy with work and preoccupied with work that I really have a build-up craving for my break. By the time my break rolled around, I wasn't even paying attention, actually. Somebody had to tell me it was break time, which is a first. That usually does not happen, especially in the field that I'm working in. And went out to have my break, which I normally would have a cigarette, and instead I went ahead and just listened to a podcast. I actually listened, trying to catch up on the Joe Budden podcast. It's a little difficult because they publish 2 episodes a week, and their episodes are about 2 hours long. So car ride to and from work can get a chunk of it done. If I have some extra time in the evening, maybe I'll try and get through the episodes, but it's easy to create a backlog with that particular podcast. So I've been trying to hit it on the breaks, and I've noticed one thing, and I need to warn you all of this. When you take breaks and you are no longer a smoker, you probably should set a timer. Our cigarettes used to be our natural timer. After we've smoked a cigarette, we know about 5 or 6 minutes have passed. No longer have that luxury. You smoke 2 cigarettes, you know you're definitely at the end of your break. Don't have that luxury anymore. So, if you have an Apple Watch, get the timer complication added to the watch so you can just hit 15 minutes as soon as you punch out on your break, or get in the habit of being around other people that are watching clocks. Try to stay away from the smokers. Obviously, you don't want to be in the smoking area when you're trying to quit smoking, but do what you can to watch the clock, because it is a little bit different of a beast. It's one of the things that changes in the realm of a non-smoker, going from a smoker to a non-smoker. And like I said in the day 1 observations, and I was letting you know the previous time I quit, one of the biggest impacts I had is I had so much more free time than I had ever had before. And it was great, especially because I was motivated to do things that I just was putting off, or I wasn't doing, or giving myself an excuse to do it later. I now had all the time in the world to do these things, and as I was doing them, they were bringing me a lot more joy than a cigarette ever did. As far as the cravings for today is concerned, I haven't really found myself feeling like I need to go out and get a cigarette. I've not had a strong craving. We're hitting a 48-hour period now, and I don't know if it's a combination of lack of sleep. I don't know if my brain has just kind of accepted that we're not going to smoke. I don't feel the chemical withdrawal right now. Not as crazy as I did the first time I quit long term. So that's pretty wild. I'm wondering if I'm going to hit the mood swings and everything that I hit in week 2. So we'll have to see. I hope you guys are faring just as well. If you're not, and you're feeling yourself craving like crazy, that's okay. It's normal. What you need to do, though, is just push through it. And like I said yesterday, you need to see what's on the other side up to this point, you've always caved and went and got a cigarette. You have no idea what happens when you ignore that internal voice telling you, oh, just do this, dude, just do this. Distract yourself, get a nice, cool glass of water, enjoy it, drink it slowly, read something, watch a show, do something, anything, but ignore that voice. It'll be there until it isn't. Basically, that voice is the void of your day that used to be spent smoking. It is your brain telling you, hey, you normally are doing this, and you're not doing it. And it takes some figuring out. And that's where that extra time comes in. So start creating hobbies. Maybe you should start a podcast. Maybe you should write some music. Maybe you should start writing a book. Maybe you should build a website. Maybe you should build a clothing brand. Maybe you should do something that you've always wanted to do, but for some reason didn't have the time to do it. Now you're going to have a lot of extra time. All right. Well, that's it for day 2. I don't have much more to say. I'm kind of happy with my results right now. Hoping everything is going well with y'all. And I hope to see you guys at the end of day 3. Stay strong. We can do it. Good luck, guys. Good night.